Guys, Anime Gypsy here with Boruto and Naruto, the Next Generation, episode 46. And before I get started, I want to just say this that this series really does utilize filler to add characterization to side characters that would otherwise not get it. This is the thing about Naruto and Boruto. They both realize that Naruto being the centric figure in fillers every single time with a classical narrative structure is boring because you know how it's going to end 100% of the time, and we already noted we already know how those characters act, and we don't need the intoxication of seeing Naruto all the time or seeing Boruto all the time. Frankly, it's not that satisfying being overfed Naruto, overfed Boruto, and they realize that hey, a good way of doing this is by making other characters in this very big series the main focus. This arc is no exception. This is Shikadai's arc. And at first, I didn't even notice it. I thought it was like just two episodes going to be Shikadai centric, and then we're going to just jump back into Boruto. And that was just a wonderful episode. It really was. Uh, or episodes rather, because we got to see more of the character that is Shikadai in an environment where we most likely would have not. You know, this it's just wonderful in my perspective. I wish other series were to utilize filler the same way Naruto and Boruto do. Series like One Piece, where it's always Luffy. And it's, come on, can't it be Sanji for once? Can't it be Nami for once being the main character? Can't it be heck? Can't it be Mihawk? Let's just go out there and make like a Mihawk flashback where Mihawk's a kid. Like that would be awesome. That really would be awesome. Now let's get into this review. And first things first, the first post intro scene has it might seem like a very irrelevant scene where you have the Genin being gathered in front of Jonin leaders, and the Jonin are basically being adults and saying, "Hey guys, listen, you're not ready for combat. You're not really, able to handle this. You're just newbies. Please stay back and leave this to us. You guys, your job is to calm people down." And at this point, sure, why not? This is just what you expect. But if you look at the background, you'll realize Hanabi is right behind Team 15. Is Hanabi Team 15's leader? And if so, this is awesome. I want to see a lot of, Hanabi Sumire interaction talking about Boruto in the background later on, if you know what I mean. That sort of thing. Because Hanabi is Boruto's auntie, and, how Surame, I'm pretty sure, all the hints have been dropped of, how Surame feels towards Boruto. Now, right after that, you have a scene where Mugi, can't pronounce her name for the life of me, basically goes up to Shikacho. She's basically their leader. Like, you've been assigned to this location, go to this location. And they have like this interesting map. And, Inojin is just being Inojin. He's like, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of your shogi game. And just snap, he realizes that this is Ryugi's tactic, and he realizes that the target that they're after is actually the science development store. And they go on a tangent, and at first you're like, okay, this is gonna be predictable. And let's be frank, let's be honest, it is predictable. What happens this episode is predictable. Let's be frank, we all knew how this was gonna go down, but just the music, the way it was executed, really did, in my perspective, not humanize. I don't know how to explain this. I want to say characterize, but it executed the character in a way that made him very relatable to us, where we're stuck in between a rock and a hard place. This is the thing about Shikamaru and Shikadai. They're usually very calm and collected people. But the thing about Shikadai is he's less calm and collected than Shikamaru. Shikamaru, you rarely see him act this way. He's like, oh yeah, what a drag. He always has his calm, but in Shikadai, not so much. You see him basically lose his cool this chapter, and yeah, that's okay. You have a moment where you're able to distinguish him from his father, and he's not a paste, like copy paste. He's not like a clone of his father, basically, which is reassuring. But at the same time, I wonder how different he is from his father, because I'm sure that he's not as smart as his father. But when it comes to, and he's not as collected as his father, but I think it's for the better, because if we already know how Shikamaru acts, and I think it's unique this way. It's a diet Shikamaru, because he still has many of the attributes that Shikamaru has, but I just don't think he's as calm, and I don't think he's as smart, because remember Shikamaru when he first played against Asuma, beat Asuma like this in Shogi first run, just easy, no competition, and you just see him now facing Ryugi, like a 13-year-old or 14-year-old, whatever, and he's struggling. He's legitimately struggling, and he loses multiple times. I don't mean to diss on him, but I think that's a good thing. Now, moving on, we have the obvious realization that Sarada makes, where she realizes everyone's under Genjutsu, and you know where that goes. Denki later tells his dad, and you have this touching moment where father and son moment, where Denki's father is like, and we knew what Denki's father was like. Denki's father was like, looks like you're doing an exceptional job, and we knew that Denki's father's a rough guy. We knew that he's a guy of discipline. He's a guy that disciplines his kid really well. And it's very touching to see this father-son moment. Now, the Byakuya gang and infiltrate the science division and just knock the living crap out of Katatsuki. And at this point, you're like, okay, does this guy have anything strength-wise to offer? Like, is this really what you've got? You're fought really. No. Like, Katatsuki is the Yonji of Boruto. Saying this right now. He is the Yonji of Boruto. Not even close. He is weak. Actually, no. What? No. He's as weak as a normal citizen. What am I saying? It wouldn't surprise me if Katatsuki, without any of his science tech, is as weak as a regular citizen. That would not surprise me in the slightest. So I take back that Yonji comment. He isn't even worthy. Okay, so what else? We find out that we found out two things. Katatsuki manages to track down where conveniently where Gecko was by having like a bug on him. A literal bug. Get it? The bug reference with bug. Yeah. The thing is, they steal something called the Magnum Opus. And I'm guessing that sounds like a suit name. That sounds like something straight out of like Power Rangers. Like to be quite not Power Rangers. What am I thinking of? It sounds like something you'd call like a super suit. That's what that sounds like. It doesn't sound like a manuscript that contains a lot of ninjutsu, like Gecko originally thinks. I don't think Gecko's getting what he wants. Just leaving it at that. So, Denki. Actually, no, I already talked about Denki. You have Chocho Inojuka-cho, basically, interrupt the Byakuya gang. And while they're interrupting the Byakuya gang, what ends up happening is Chocho is too powerful. Like, that expansion jutsu was just OP. It just looked that way. Like, Choji back in the day wasn't that powerful, where he could create a fist this big. No. Like, his max thing was like the flying boulder. Now, this is the thing about Choji. Maybe he would have had a more versatile arsenal back then, because remember, he had like the pills, and he had that thing with the sharp boulder jutsu, and we haven't even seen Chocho perform the boulder jutsu, but apparently she's able to do it. And after that interception, we go back to the people that are protesting, and we find out that both Mirai and Sarada are able to release Genjutsu. Now, Mirai doesn't really surprise me. Sarada does. She's straight out of the academy. She's fresh. She's fresh, and she's able to release Genjutsu. It's not that impressive, but okay. I got my eyes on you, Sarada. And what's next? You have the confrontation. Well, no. Next, actually, I've been skipping around. But basically, what ends up happening is you have this guy. So there are three characters that aren't fodder level in the Byakuya gang. There is Gecko, there's Ryugi, and then there's a nameless guy that has the Firefox Jutsu. Yeah, the Firefox Jutsu. Obviously, Shikamaru makes quick work of him, and then we flash to Naruto. Naruto gives an epic speech, and this is where I'm like, okay, where's the actual Naruto? Where's the Naruto that blunders on everything? Where's the idiot that wanted to be Hokage? And just seeing the character I grew up watching becoming this mature, I'm like, okay, I'm getting old. Like, remember Naruto originally, that little kid, and now he's a village leader that, wow, it's been like years since I've watched Naruto, and now it's crazy. Like, seeing him grow up is something that is legitimately insane, because seeing Naruto, Shippuden and regular, you'd have no idea that this character would evolve into, well, not a world leader, but into a mature person like current Naruto is. Like, you would think that Naruto would basically be giving like Donald Trump level Twitter speeches. Like, that's what you would legitimately think Naruto would do, because let's face it, he's not the sharpest tool in the shed. Now, but no, he killed that speech, and it was nice, and seeing that is very nostalgic and at the same time new, because we're not really used to mature Naruto. We're used to dumbass Naruto that makes dumb decisions that almost kills everyone Naruto. That's the Naruto we're used to. Now, after that, we have this cool scene where Shikadai confronts Ryugi, and it ends. It's a nice ending. That's a sharp, that's a nice ending. And I'm still thinking, like, this is the thing. If we find out that Gecko was partially involved in Ryugi's parents' death, then the series automatically, the arc automatically takes a swan dive to worst quality. Because, like, the obvious antagonist narrative is very cheesy, very wrong, very this is the thing in a lot of anime, that you don't really get the clear-cut bad guy, good guy, and that's nice. Like, people like Mars from Black Clover, even though he's the bad guy, obviously, but you feel for him because you get the flashback and you get okay, this is why he's an asshole. And I know this isn't the best examples. I mean, you could look back into the classic Naruto, look at Sasori, look at so-and-so, look at so-and-so. You'll realize that they're not really that clear-cut, where, oh, I'm a cookie-cutter villain with no explanation as to why I'm bad. I am just bad. No, not that. If Gecko is reduced to this, and Ryugi just becomes a good guy as a result, this arc takes a swan dive. That's my thought. And if you like the video, please leave a like. And if you have any thoughts about the video, disagree with me on anything, please leave them down in the comments below. And until next time, guys, this is Anime Gypsy, and I'm out. See you guys later.